Boss, thank you for taking the time out of your Barnsley preparations to talk about this season and some of next season as well. The Championship title has recently been won against Reading. How have things been lately for yourself and the staff and the players here at Norwich?
Yes, we would lie if we would say that we are not in a good mood. Of course, everyone is happy and proud and also buzzing and a bit emotional during this last week of the season. We know that we have achieved all our goals with promotion, which was difficult enough, with winning the title, with being the best Norwich City side in terms of points on this level, on the top level, and also the best Norwich City side in terms of points on all levels during the whole history of Norwich. So we know that we have written a chapter of history, and was a fantastic season for us, and for that we are all pretty proud, and as you can imagine, everyone is really in a really good mood.
You mentioned in our chat last season that teams that are solid defensively can find it easier at a higher level. In 2018-19 we conceded 57 goals on the way to the title. This season at the moment it's 34. Do you think that bodes well for us?
Well, it's quite important in football. It's always about balance. Yeah? You need good balance between attacking and also to be reliable and solid in terms of defending. And even 2 years ago, we were there, I think, with 14 clean sheets and also many good defending games. But we got the thing we also want to improve to this area as a group of players. And we've shown this during the season with being unbelievable solid in many games with many clean sheets. And I spoke also quite honest and transparent about this. It's also when you think a bit ahead, the teams who are promoted because of a solid defense, they have better chances to stay up in terms of, instead of teams who are promoted just because of their attacking, because their attacking advantage is not that big on the top level against the top teams. And once you're used and capable to defend, you bring this quite often also with lots of altruism also on the top level. So for that, it was quite necessary also regarding already a bit next season. So for that, it was one of our plans to be rock solid in terms of defending. And it helped, of course, also a little bit that we had a bit more luck in terms of injuries in comparison to last season, for example. And for that, I'm quite pleased also with this, especially with this defensive behavior.
And just moving on to recruitment, there were some brave signings made last summer. You must have been pleased with the contributions of Skip, Gibson, Sorensen, Dow, to name a few of them. Is it proof that with good scouting that clubs don't necessarily have to break the bank to get the quality that you require, and we'll be looking to demonstrate that again this summer?
We have to be good and smart in our recruitment. It will always be the topic for us as a club, because we are the only self-funding club on this level. We can't spend millions of pounds. That means we have to be a bit smarter, a bit quicker, a bit more creative, perhaps also a bit riskier than other clubs. It's of course always easier to spend money, then you have a higher guarantee to bring some individual quality in. And instead of going for a young lad, Oliver Skip, we were totally convinced, for example, that he would make us better, but there's never a guarantee because he has never played on this level with consistency. And it's then also still doubtful how he can bring this really all 3 days on the pitch, and he did fantastic. Or also with Ben Gibson, there's no doubt about his quality, but last 2 years were difficult for him. He hardly played a game, and some clubs are then a bit reluctant and careful to sign such a player, but we were fully convinced of his qualities on the pitch and off the pitch. He's a great player, but also a great character, and we were convinced. Of course, it was a bit tricky and also a bit risky because of his last 2 years before, but we have to take some risk as this club, and not each and every decision can be perfect anyhow, but we have to make sure that we prepare our decisions in a really good way. And for that, many compliments also to our recruitment. I think in many topics we were, especially also during this season, really spot on. And for this club, it will always be quite crucial that we're good in our recruitment, good in developing our own talents, because we don't have the money like some other clubs. We have to do it in our way, and for that, I'm quite pleased how it has worked out during this season.
And now we have a number of players who've had the taste of relegation last time, others who are desperate to play in the Premier League for the first time. Is there maybe an extra incentive that we have a sort of a point to prove, and that we're capable of doing so? Because last time we were in the Premier League, a lot of games were only decided by one goal.
I could do with the experience of relegation, if I'm honest, but yes, overall we have to say we are much better prepared this season in comparison to 2 years ago, because 2 years ago we had just won the championship with a bunch of young lads, where no one even expected to be near the top 6 during the season, and we dominated and rocked this league with nearly 100 points and nearly 100 goals in a fantastic way, and everyone was buzzing or euphorized. But let's be honest, we went into the season anyhow with exactly one player with Premier League experience. It was Alex Teixeira, was our only field player with Premier League experience. And meanwhile, we are much better prepared. Also, the experience of several games on this level for many lads right now helps. Grant Hanley has right now 30 Premier League games. Christoph Zimmermann has right now 20 Premier League games. Todd Cantwell, Emi Buendia, Max Aarons, they all have Premier League games. So I think as a group we are much better prepared, but also as a club, also like the situation 2 years ago, also what was possible in terms of spending money, perhaps also in terms of signing, was not on the level what we have this season right now. And for that, of course, it will always be for a club like us hard work to establish us on this level. Let's be honest, yes. We are the only self-funding club on this level, and it's unbelievably tricky. But my gut feeling is we have a much better chance in comparison to 2 years ago. I labeled this 2 years ago we would need a miracle in order to survive on this level. And let's be honest, there were too many odds against us. The inexperience, but also then the biggest injury crisis of perhaps all teams on Premier League level. We had the lockdown exactly after a great win against Leicester, when we had some momentum. We had to go into lockdown, and then also to play the last games without supporters, especially as a newly promoted side. It was tough. We had too many odds against us, and for that, I got the feeling we are much better prepared as a club and also as a group of players. And we'll try our best also to finish in a better position during next season. And I'm quite confident and carefully optimistic that we can do this.
You mentioned Alex Teti in there, and we announced that he and Mario Vrancic are leaving at the end of this season. 2 players who have given a lot to this football club over a number of years.
Well, where do I start? So it's words are more or less not enough to praise Mario, and of course especially Alex, because he's a true club legend through thick and thin with the club, and not only his quality as a player, but also his quality as a human being, as a person, is outstanding. And he was so crucial for us during our promotion 2 years ago. He was probably our most reliable and best performing player on Premier League level in last season, and also unbelievably important, although he was not involved in each and every game during this season for the group, because he was so great for the spirit, so great also as a role model. I think the young lads like Ollie Skip, for example, have learned a lot from his behavior and also his professionalism, and also was also quite important to keep the pressure high on the likes of Oliver Skip, for example. He need to perform because he know there's Alex Tete anyhow, and need to be top class in order. Otherwise, he has all chances to come back in. And also the spirit that he gave, even once he was not playing anyhow, he's so supportive and so supporting and so selfless, just thinking about the club and just thinking about the team. He's a real servant of the club, and you can't praise Alex enough. It was a joy for me to work with him each and every day, and I feel really proud and blessed and honored to be allowed to work with him for such a long time. And I will miss him a lot. Unbelievable, and I have more than one tears in my eyes, if I'm honest. I'm not able to work further on, but this reality, and time, then you also have to accept that time goes by, and you have to bring some fresh energy in, and more or less the same also with Mario Vrancic, because we had also a great time, and he has created memories for this club that will live forever. Fantastic player. I remember in his first season, many supporters doubted him. I was criticized a lot anyhow about yeah, I spoke about this comment that everyone was more or less thinking, yeah, perhaps I'm his father-in-law anyhow. That's the reason why I kept playing him anyhow. But then in the second, third, and fourth year, everyone realized also how good Mario is, how magic he can be with his passing skills, with his set pieces, with his ability to deliver with the end product to score goals. And yeah, then was more or less the other way around. When he was not always playing, then I got lots of stick how I can leave Mario Funches on the bench. Nevertheless, he's also a legend for our club. And for example, his goal at Villa Park will live forever. His free kick against Sheffield Wednesday, his important goals during the season. He won us many late points as well during the season. And I think we all should value, to be allowed to have this two fantastic players, but also these two fantastic characters for such a long time, wearing and representing a yellow shirt. And Alex and Mario, they will be always welcome, and also be in my heart forever.
Yeah, lots of magical moments. Just moving on to the progress of the Norwich City Academy this season. Obviously, we've seen Andrew, Barley, Josh have been in the first team squad on occasions. How much of a difference as well do you think it can make that Max Aarons and Todd Cantwell have got a few more years of experience this time round going into the Premier League? And like I say, what have you made of the progress of those academy lads?
The academy will always be a key part of our Norwich way. We are a self-funding club, and we rely on developing our own talents. We can't just spend money in order to buy some talents. We need to develop our own players. It's not easy, and just with your own players you can't be capable to be competitive on the top level. But it's a major part, and they've done a fantastic job, and it's one of our main topics. Always to go further on. And Max and Todd are of course role models and great examples which values we can create, but also how strong the bond then is between the players and the club, how much it means to the players, but also in terms of identification of our supporters with the players and with the team. So I think they're quite crucial, and of course also they will be crucial players also for our approach next season.
And finally, one of the things obviously that we've missed this season is the atmosphere from the fans. How much are you looking forward to the start of next season, walking out of the tunnel, hearing the Premier League music and On the Ball City, and hopefully seeing a sea of yellow and green shirts, and hopefully in the sunshine as well?
Yes, you summed it up quite well. It sounds like a good day, definitely. Yeah, we miss them unbelievable anyhow, and I hope and I think also it's the same way back. So football is for supporters, the supporters game, and you should play football with supporters and with the help. We are living during strange times, and we are experiencing the worst pandemics in the last century anyhow, and for that we had to stay a bit disciplined. But if I'm honest, our supporters were always in our hearts and souls in each and every game, and we knew exactly that we have the responsibility also to be as successful and as good as possible for them, to represent them and to make them happy. This is our responsibility, and this will always be a supporters club, and we have a special bond between our community, our supporters, and us as a club, as a team, and this will live forever. And this is also the experience that no one is bigger than the club, and this bond, and this is quite special. And if I'm honest, I'm also looking forward a lot to the first day when Carrow Road is packed and you could feel this bond. I think it will be a pretty special day for everyone who is involved and is allowed to have this experience. And then to work and to fight together for the next points will be amazing. And of course, I'm looking forward a lot to have this experience hopefully pretty soon.